Tell us, who are the musicians featured in the Still of the Night video?
Well, it's basically the United Nations. There's a Dutchman, an Irishman, a Cuban, a Texan, and an Englishman. The Englishman's me. The Dutchman's Adrian Vandenberg. The Irishman is Vivian Campbell. The Cuban is Rudy Sarzo, and the Texan is Tommy Aldridge. And that's what I hope will be the new Whitesnake. I'm just waiting for some kind of suggestion from people that they've missed me as much as I've missed them.
But isn't it true that these other musicians have their own commitments? For example, the rhythm section have their own band called Energy, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, or Driver, something like that. Yeah, they've been trying for a long time to get a deal, and they're prepared to commit to me. You know, in the moment I called and said, let's go. I would like very much, it was very positive to work with these people. It's great.
Right. So, is it fair to say that for the moment anyway that Whitesnake is a solo project and you're bringing other people that you particularly would like to work with?
Yeah, I enjoyed the flexibility of working with some of the best musicians in the world. The most important premise for Whitesnake is to write good quality rock and roll songs, and I try to get the best people to do it. Not only for myself, but for them too. Whitesnake is either a platform for them to launch from. It's something they can abuse or use, you know. And unfortunately, there's a lot of abuse has gone down over a couple of years.
Well, you've already mentioned Adrian Vandenberg, who's one of the guitar players in the video. Now, he's someone I think you've wanted to work with for quite a long time.
Yeah, I like Adrian very much as a musician and a person, which is very unusual. I approached Adrian first in '83 while I was making the Slide It In album.
Right.
And at that time, he was up to his eyeballs with commitments for his own group, Vandenberg. However, you know, with all the time that's gone over, it seems we started talking again at the beginning of last year, and he was very supportive, even though there was no reason for him to be whilst I was ill through '86. And we talked more and more about being together and working together in a band.
When I had left, when David Lee Roth and I had split, I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. I didn't have like a definite vision, but I did have this. I had the faith and the determination that something was going to happen, something will always happen. I got a phone call from the Whitesnake camp, and it was very hard for me to come to a decision, you know, about what to do there, because I didn't really want to get involved with another soloist at this point. You know, I'm very strong in my vision. What had happened was, it's very ironic, and it sounds pretty peculiar, and I was at a party the other night, and people were telling me that it sounds like a bunch of baloney, but unfortunately, Adrian Vandenberg really had to retire himself from this situation at this point, because he had these problems occur with his hands. I don't know, I can't comment on what it was, because I don't know for sure. But things just worked out, so where that record actually had to be done, because when they called me, the entire tracks were recorded, and all the material was written, and what they needed was the guitars, and they started doing with Adrian, and they wanted me to come in and do some solos and stuff, and then he had to retire himself from the situation there, and voila.